So the big question in the US at the moment is, what was John McCain thinking with his vice president pick? Or, as Mitt Romney was heard to say, what the fuck is that senile old coot doing? Has he not been paying attention? Our number one attack on Obama was not experienced, and he's gone and picked someone who's been governor for less than 2 years? God, someone get Cheney in here to shoot the bastard in the face! Yes, you might think the picking of Palin meant the GOP would have to drop their main line of attack about inexperience. But you don't know the Republican Party machine. They're sticking with the tried and true lie through your teeth. And now they're saying she's got more than 12 years public service experience. Apparently being mayor of a town with 9,000 people, and I don't know where the other years come from. Maybe she was coach of a volleyball team. Apparently that qualifies you to be President of the US. Because like I've said before, make no mistake, if Cheney gets elected, God, that was a Freudian slip. I'm going to lie awake at night having nightmares about that possibility. If McCain gets elected, he's going to drop dead. He's old, he's weak, he's got infirmities, he's actually on disability pension. There's no way he'd survive the stresses of office. And seriously, this person is who's going to be the president of the US? Are you people fucking crazy? Now look, fair's fair. Obama picking the old white guy as his running mate was tokenism, trying to calm down people who were nervous about him and his background and his perceived lack of experience. But what McCain's done with Palin, that's just taken tokenism to an absurd degree. Well, they've gone off and said, okay, Hillary supporters are stupid because we think they'll vote for someone who opposes everything they stand for just because they're a woman. In McCain's defence, there were a bunch of Hillary supporters who did a lot to make a compelling case for the fact they were idiots. And McCain isn't conservative enough for a lot of Republicans, and Palin is, so that's supposed to keep them happy, and having someone younger is meant to balance how old he is. It's insane! I'm not even going to mess about. That's the most insane choice I've ever seen. The other thing is, McCain says he thoroughly checked out this candidate before picking her. Let's take him at his word. Let's say he didn't just go, that one. So he's picked her out. So that would mean, if he's not lying, he knows there are weird rumours about the birth of her last child, namely really weird rumours that it wasn't really her who was pregnant, it was her teenage daughter who was pregnant and she covered for it and pretended it was hers. That's just whacked out. But that means he also knew that the teenage daughter of the abstinence-only proponent is pregnant. That's a big vote for abstinence-only education, isn't it? And what else? I mean, the other rumours that there are nude photos of her going about, and even if that's not true, God knows, as a former beauty queen, there are a lot of bikini photos and catsuit photos of her running around. It only takes a mildly talented Photoshop artiste to paste her face onto an actual nude body. I have not been looking for vice presidential porn, and I'm not about to start, but I'd bet money it's out there now. Oh, and a side note, so-called progressives who have this really reflexive tendency to make sexist slurs against females they don't like, the Hillary camp weren't completely delusional. A lot of Obama supporters, particularly young male supporters, leapt straight to the Hillary's a bitch mode without actually talking about policy. So the people who are, and they are going to do slander on Palin and do frankenporn pictures of her, have a good fucking hard look at yourself, you loser. But back to my point, if McCain really checked her out, he knows all these weird rumours, and he still picked her, plus the fact she's under investigation for possible wrongdoing in sacking someone who wouldn't sack another guy who divorced her sister. And I looked into that story about the state trooper a little bit, and the guy sounds like a bad guy who probably deserved to be sacked. He tasered her nephew or something, like his kid. He tasered his own kid, and he had something like 50 reprimands on his record for bad behaviour. He probably deserved to be fired, but appearances, my God, sacking someone who wouldn't sack someone who divorced your sister. Jesus, how do you think that looks to people? And my other favourite thing about her background, she's a politician from the most corrupt state in the US. And that's saying something. She used to work for Ted Stevens, who's now under indictment, not investigation. He's been charged by the FBI for corruption. And they're talking up the, oh no, she speaks out about corruption. Yeah, after. Before, she worked for the corrupt guys. I literally cannot believe McCain could make a choice this bad. Oh, and I'm going to round off with my favourite conspiracy theory that has come out since this announcement. It's in two parts. The first part is that she's not actually a serious nomination. He's going to let people do all sorts of sexist slurs and gross rumours about her, and then to protect her, she will stand down and he'll take the high moral ground for the rest of the campaign and say, ooh, those bad liberals, they're bad people, don't vote for them. And he'll put some evil motherfucker in as vice president. But then, because the Republican Party machine doesn't like him anyway, they're going to whack him before the election, so their party guy, probably Romney, would ascend to the president nomination. Oh, and if that shit comes true, which I think is not 100% impossible, conspiracy theorists, I'm on your side from then on. No matter how crazy your theory, I will back you 100%. Because if that shit happens, the world is just too fucked up to handle.